In hospitality, delivering the best experience for your customers and staff is critical for success. But for many hospitality operators, their complicated, siloed systems can make delivering excellence extremely challenging. With data spread across multiple systems, your data does not flow seamlessly. The technology that should be powering your business can actually limit your staff's ability to achieve their most important goal: to create a truly excellent experience for each and every guest. Imagine if all of the systems you use to successfully manage your hotel operations were integrated into one platform. Customer data is visible to your staff across all functions to ensure each and every guest gets exactly what they need. And what if this modern integrated platform was built on the security of the Oracle Cloud, reducing your overall IT costs and giving you peace of mind on data security, scalability, and handling high levels of throughput? The Oracle Hospitality Integration Platform is designed from the ground up to meet the demands that hospitality operators and integrators face today. You are now able to integrate, giving you unprecedented access to data for faster system integrations, resulting in collaboration across teams and accelerated innovation. Partners seamlessly access modern integration REST APIs using a true self-service experience that requires no Oracle intervention, reducing complexity and upfront costs. By paying a minimal fee based on consumption volume, the overall cost of integration is dramatically lowered for all stakeholders. We also support a digital economy for our partners. Partners can develop, test, and publish their integrations to our Oracle Partner Marketplace, making it easy for customers to find and purchase solutions. Hoteliers no longer have to pay for integrations. Using Opera Cloud, you gain access to everything you need through APIs, letting you set the pace for integrations to contactless or other applications. A self-paced, quicker go-to-market drives more innovation for you and a better hotel experience for your guests. To learn more about how Oracle Hospitality Integration Platform can help accelerate innovation in hotel operations, contact us today.
Hello, everyone. My name is Luis Weir, and I am responsible for integrations and API strategies here at Oracle Hospitality. First of all, let me say that it's such an honor and pleasure to be here to talk about how our open architecture and open API strategy can help you rapidly integrate and innovate by getting access to literally thousands of hospitality capabilities to truly unlock the full power of Opera Cloud PMS. But let's start from the beginning. I am sure most of you are well familiar with our legacy integration offerings such as Oxy and AWS, but also the challenges that come with it. Such challenges don't help in a post-pandemic world where guest expectations around digital, contactless, and new standards on cleanliness, COVID passports, and whatnot just keep increasing. They're exponentially higher. We're fully aware that having the ability to rapidly innovate and adapt to these new normals becomes absolutely crucial. I would therefore rather change the topic, if I may, and focus on the latest tech and the latest news. The good news, I would like to say, and that is the Oracle Hospitality Integration Platform, or OHIP for short. OHIP is already here and has been here for, I would say, about 9 months for customers, a bit longer for partners. OHIP was born in the cloud to meet the demands not just of a post-pandemic year, but also to meet the demands of the foreseeable future. OHIP represents our next generation integration solution that centralizes, consolidates, and streamlines all of our interface capabilities and processes into a single and unified platform, one platform. With OHIP, customers and partners alike can, first of all, get access to over 3,000 API capabilities. Everything that you can do through the Opera Cloud user interface also becomes available as a REST API in OHIP. To put it into perspective, if you combine all of the capabilities available in Oxy, AWS, and Kiosk, that's only about 400 capabilities altogether. What we're making available with OHIP is almost 10 times that. Moreover, as you can see on display, We have more capabilities than any other competitor in the market. No one gets even close. What's even better, though, is that OHIP comes included with the purchase of Opera Cloud Foundation SKU. So customers of Opera Cloud can benefit from internal integrations unlimited. You no longer have to pay licenses for individual interfaces with OHIP. If you're an Opera Cloud customer, you get unlimited access to any of your internal use cases. On the flip side, though, we charge vendors a very small amount for transactions they make against our APIs. Basically, what we have done is turn the model on its head. Customers don't pay for Opera Cloud, OHIP for Opera Cloud, and partners pay a small amount for connectivity to your properties. That said, I also want to talk a little bit about the concept of a platform. OHIP is a platform, and just like any platform that you come across, like social media, let's say, for example, YouTube or Facebook, you don't have to ring an IT department to just open an account or get help. It's all self-service. Basically, you just register with clicks, get access, and start interacting and creating and gaining value. We stay true to the concept of a platform in OHIP. Partners can, within clicks, get registered and start using OHIP and start building integrations and releasing them to production, all self-service. Customers like yourself, exactly the same. Once you get Opera Cloud Foundation, OHIP is automatically provisioned for you. So you also get access to the developer portal and start using our APIs in no time. And last but not least is our marketplace, which is growing bigger and bigger by the day. I like to refer to it as our, at the app store for hospitality. I call it the fastest growing marketplace in the industry. And it has been hectic, I have to admit. It's been a few months of nonstop work since we started the OHIP journey. So let me do a small recap of the OHIP momentum that we have created over the past few months since OHIP became available to partner and customers. First of all, we've done 7 production releases with 0 downtime. Not 1, not 2, but 7. That's a significant improvement from how we used to do it in the past, especially with 0 downtime. We no longer even make a big fuss every time we do a release of OHIP. Why? Because no one even notices it. It just happens seamlessly. And just so you get an idea of what OHIP is in terms of transactions, we're handling about 30 million. We've handled over 30 million transactions already. But what's interesting, though, is that 90% of those transactions actually happened in the last 90 days. And the reason being is because we had an explosion in the number of partners and customers that went into production. So in average, we're handling about 8, almost 9 million calls a month already. But our expectation is that this is going to continue to grow exponentially. And we can expect this time next year that the number is going to be much, much, much higher. As I said earlier, we've released over 3,000 API capabilities in record time, already being used by many, many partners and many customers. And to that point, we've onboarded already over 200 partners, many of them who are already live, many of them who are close to be live. And this is really in months since going live. I will talk about this point in a little bit more detail shortly, so I don't want to elaborate more. What I do want is to elaborate deeper on the business benefits that OHIP brings to the table, so you understand why it's important for us to keep emphasizing on OHIP and why you should adopt it along with Opera Cloud. So you gain business benefits such as unrestricted access to innovation. As I said before, we have the most number of API capabilities in the industry, over 3,000 of them. No one gets even closer. Moreover, you get unlimited access to connectivity. If you're an Opera Cloud Foundation customer, you no longer have to pay additional for interface fees. OHIP is included for your internal use cases, full stop. Access to the fastest growing partner and community marketplace in the industry. You will see in a second why. Speed to market. As I said before, the concept of a platform, self-service end-to-end. I don't want to call an RE department to get access to the platform. I don't want to go through complicated processes and hurdles to get access to an API spec or to start making API calls. I don't want it to be complicated to go live. I want it to be simple, quick, efficient, seamless end-to-end. And OHIP is also a highly scalable platform because it was born in the cloud, for the cloud. It runs in the security of the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. To be more specific, it runs in Kubernetes. And what that means is that we can very quickly spin up more pods, more containers, and scale it horizontally. So it's a modern platform that's secure, highly scalable, delivers a speed to market, unlimited access to innovation and connectivity. It's great. But let me go a little bit deeper. So let me start with the first two benefits that I mentioned earlier. What does it mean to have unrestricted access to innovation and unlimited connectivity? First of all, it means to being able to rapidly leverage any of the many innovative solutions that our partners are making available through the Hospitality Cloud Marketplace. Not just from a large established partner, but also from a small startup. I said earlier, think of our marketplace as the Apple Store for hospitality. You install the app and you start to use it in clicks. That is our aim. There are some really cool apps, some really cool innovation being made available by our partners. Why don't you go check it out? Maybe there's something that will interest you. Secondly, OHIP is already included with the purchase of Opera Cloud Foundation. I've said it, I think at least twice, but I said it again. It's such a huge benefit that I want you to benefit from it. From contactless apps, mobile apps, single pane of glass applications that you may be developing internally, OHIP can help you with all of them. In fact, we already have customers live addressing this sort of use case today. So don't miss out. And then Sas Integrations. This is especially interesting for some of our customers that are also Oracle Cloud SaaS customers. Many of our customers are using, for example, NetSuite or Oracle Cloud SaaS ERP or HCM Cloud. The bottom line is that being able to enable seamless end-to-end enterprise integrations is also crucial. And we're making considerable investments into satisfying many of these use cases. We're building an Oracle Hospitality adapter for Oracle Integration Cloud. So that is that if you use our own integration tooling to deliver these end-to-end enterprise integrations, you're also going to benefit from the fact that we invest in it and we have connectivity and templates that are just going to accelerate that journey. Now, let's talk about what I refer to as the fastest growing partner community and marketplace in the industry. In fact, rather than talking about it, why don't I show you some numbers? I've already mentioned that we have already 200 partners on board and building integrations. What I didn't say, though, is that in average, based on our calculations, in recent months, we're onboarding about one new partner every single day. And that's why we have already 800 members in the recently created partner community. It's basically a Slack community where partners and product management and consulting interact just to create value. We're helping our partners free of cost to get into production. We get so many questions every day, and we help them with pleasure because we know that the more we help them, the more they help us, the more they help you. It's just a win-win-win. But what's important to say as well is that 20% of these partners actually are already in production. In average, it's taking them about 4 to 8 weeks, depending on how complicated the integration is, just to finish their code. And then it's just connecting their integration to your customer property. And to wrap up, I just want to show some of the feedback that we're getting from the partner community. In short, they are really loving it. And you can see it as well. If you are connected to me on LinkedIn, you would see very frequently partners posting comments on how they are doing in OHIP, and the feedback that they're giving us is just really good. And what we keep doing with this feedback is we keep investing on the things that we know are adding value, because ultimately we know that if we invest in them, that's also going to benefit you, our customer audience. So moving on, let's talk about how OHIP truly accelerate the process of building integrations. As Adrian Cockford, who was once the lead cloud architect at Netflix, said, speed wins in the marketplace. And he wasn't wrong. We know that speed to market is absolutely crucial, especially now in a post-pandemic era where innovation is more than a necessity. It's a matter of survival. So first of all, it's the fact that we've made available over 1,000 API recipes. With these API recipes, customers can, pretty much build any workflow, like for example, contactless check-in or check-out experiences, housekeeping, cashiering, block management, you choose. We made them available so you can just browse them and easily start building solutions without having to, start from scratch or trying to figure out how to use our APIs. Secondly, is what I said a few times already. A platform is meant to be intuitive and self-service end-to-end. From discovering our APIs to registering your application, finishing your integration and taking it to production, we want this to be super easy, just clicks and minutes, not hours of process. And then this last point is something that I'm very, very proud of. And it's the fact that we are really beyond open. Our API specifications and API recipes are actually available in GitHub. They're publicly available and they're open source. And what that means is that, customers and partners alike can take inspiration from our specs, or you can reuse them to accelerate the implementation of your own APIs. The idea here is that we don't want you to reinvent the wheel. If Opera Cloud PMS is your PMS, then you can just reference our APIs. You can reuse them. You can, use them as base and then massage them to build your own API. It doesn't matter. We just made them available to help you to accelerate your journey and to lower the cost of integration. And then it's the fact that OHIP is cloud native. It was, it was born in the cloud. It was built from the ground up to meet the demands that we know you face today and that you're going to face in the future. OHIP is running in the security of Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. It's running inside of Kubernetes with top-notch security available in Opera Cloud. And we can very easily scale it. As I said before, we've done already 7 releases seamlessly with 0 downtime. It's already available in 3 regions, in North America, in Europe, and in Asia Pacific. And we're going to continue to grow. We're adding more and more regions. And every time we keep scaling it to make sure that it can meet your demands, especially as the number of transactions grow. Now that I've talked a little bit about what is OHIP, I'm going to go and do a demo. Okay, so the first thing I want to show is the developer portal web application. This is a page for developers to discover our API capabilities and start using OHIP. I've already have a bookmark here, so I just click. As you can see, it's taking me to the Opera Cloud login page, and that's because we support single sign-on with Opera Cloud. So if you were already logged in Opera Cloud and you would have been granted the developer portal role, you would have been redirected directly to the OHIP landing page. In this case, I was not logged in, so I need to log in again by entering my credentials. And then it's going to authenticate me and redirect me to the login, to the landing page. From the landing page, what we list is all the API capabilities that are available in OHIP. So you can either scroll down and look at the different APIs that we have available, or you can just do a quick search and, like, for example, look for reservations API or the customer API. Once you find the API capability that you want, you just click on the documentation. And we display the documentation, rich documentation based on our apiary capability, which is an API design first tool that was acquired by Oracle back in 2017. And we use it to document our APIs based on the Open API Spec 2.0. From here, you can explore the different API capabilities that we have available, like, for example, create a guest. You click on the capability, and then you see the different URL parameters that are needed, or, for example, a sample payload. And if you wanted to, you could also show the JSON schema. This is useful when you are implementing your client. Another thing that you can do from here as well is, like, generate JavaScript code to, a code snip that you can just embed into your application and start using the API. And it's available in multiple languages. Once you've identified the API that you need and you understand how it works, you can register your application. In this case, I already have a few registered, but basically the way it works is that, let's say, for example, you are building a new booking engine or mobile application, you can register your app. So when the application make calls to OHIP can identify, I know who is making the call, and that will help with analytics that I will be talking about shortly in the roadmap section. Then you can define what type of application this is. It could be, let's say, it's an is a mobile app in both iOS and Android. In this case, it's non-production. I can enter my details. I click next, then I register the application to consume all of our APIs. Notice that I'm selecting two types, early adopter and hospitality. Early adopters are newly released capabilities for which we expect feedback on their use, and only early adopters get access to those capabilities. And getting access is easy. You just send us an email to this email address, and based on your request, we'll give you access. It tends to be straightforward. And then these are the generally available APIs, which anyone that registered to access OHIP will get access to out of the box. I just click register. What this will do is we'll create an application, and it will also generate an application key. An application key is a unique identifier for this particular capability and for this particular application. And in every single call that you make in OHIP, you have to pass the application key. Otherwise, OHIP will reject the calls because it wouldn't know which client application is actually requesting access, is making the calls to the REST APIs. You can copy the application key from here, keep it confidential, and then when making calls, you can just include it in the X app key header, so OHIP recognizes the application. And then if you click on the environments tab, what you see is the different environments that you have access to. In this case, I have access to the shared sandbox. It's a sandbox that we just give access to all of the partners free of cost, so they can build their integrations without having to purchase an Opera Cloud environment. In your case, if you're a customer, you will see your environments listed here as opposed to the sandbox. Then when you click on view details, we'll provide details on the gateway URL, which you need to know because this is where the APIs are exposed for your particular Opera Cloud instance. And also a client ID and client secret. And this is one of 3 factors that we need whenever an API call is made. Now that I've shown the basics of the developer portal, I want to show all the important assets that will help you in your OHIP journey. The next one I want to talk about is GitHub. We've open sourced all of our API specs. And what that means is that you can just come to GitHub and you can see the details. I will elaborate a bit more on this when I talk about the roadmap. You can either visualize or download the REST APIs specs that we have here. These are basically the same specs that you saw in the developer portal. Or I can click on the Postman collections. And from here, what we make available is over 1,000 examples on how to consume our APIs. Postman is a popular tool for API testing. And what Postman provides is the ability to create sample workflows. So, for example, we tell you easily what API calls you need to make to, for example, implement the end-to-end contactless experience, or to deal with blocks and whatnot. So why don't I show you? Postman also has a web application, and if I click in that link, it will take you to this URL. You can also take note of it. And from here, you can directly start browsing our Postman collections, okay? It will show you, for example, how to obtain an auth token for security, and how to implement different workflows like checking availability and shop and book, basically checking availability and booking a reservation, shop and book, checking in, checking out, or if you want a comprehensive end-to-end example of the full contactless journey, that's also available there. How to create blogs and whatnot. Many other examples. You can also explore collections based on modules. So let me just show you how this works. Postman also has a desktop client, which I have open here. It's pretty much the same client. I just like more the web version. It's a little bit richer, so I prefer it. But it's really up to you. The collections are exactly the same. You need to select an environment, and that's because if you see the URLs when you open a collection, you'll see these brackets here in orange. What this means basically is that you need to set up an environment variable for this, because you may have multiple environments when calling our APIs. You may want to call UAT North America, or you may want to call UAT in Europe. And therefore, you can configure two different environments with the different environment variables to call each of these environments. In this case, I just have one environment, which is a sandbox, and I can make these calls to obtain an auth token. Now that I have the token, I can make different calls. So for example, search availability, right? In this case, I think I probably forgot to set a parameter. Yeah. So you can see that there's a fair amount of availability in this particular sandbox. You can get rates. There's so many examples in here. I'm not going to go through all of them, and that's because I would really recommend that you watch a session from Fred Walls from my team. His on-demand session is titled "Integration is Everything: Self-Service, All-HIP Access to APIs and Live Demo." So he's basically walking through the full end-to-end contactless experience, this collection that we have in here. And then he's going to be showing you how what you're doing here affects Opera Cloud, and how you can search for profiles that already exist in Opera Cloud, and how you create new ones and whatnot. So the full journey is described in his demonstration. So rather than doing it again, I recommend that you watch the session. And that's pretty much really all I wanted to show in terms of all-HIP for this particular session. But why don't I continue with my presentation? And let me talk a little bit about the roadmap. As I demonstrated, you have the developer portal, where we are listing all the API capabilities. You have the apiary embedded documentation that I show you how to use. I show you how, when logging in, I was able to use my Opera Cloud account, which at the same time, it lets me single sign on. So if I was already logged in, I would have already accessed the developer portal without having to enter my credentials again. We have all-HIP now available in North America, EMEA. Actually, in APAC also became available quite recently. So in reality, it's not coming anymore. It's already available. But there's so much more coming. For example, we're making available more API capabilities for gaming, specifically for gaming, as part of the new gaming module and gaming SKU that we've made available for the gaming industry. We also have rich analytics coming. That's why when I was walking through the demo and the API key, I emphasized that you register an application that represents the actual consuming applications that's using the APIs. And that's because that's useful and needed for analytics. I'll go into more details on this in a second. We're making available an streaming API for business event push, otherwise known as a two-way API. A search engine, so it's easier and quicker to find the right capability for the right use case. We're making available soon or brand new next generation Oracle Hospitality Distribution cloud service. It's already actually available already with some early adopters. I'm sure you would have seen Tom's session on distribution. And they have amazing APIs that we're also making available in all-HIP, specifically for shop and book. But there's more coming later on. As we collect more and more analytics and we make the rich analytics feature available in all-HIP, we want you to be able to configure and set self-service alerts. That way you can set your own alerts based on different metrics, like tell me when I'm getting more than X number of calls, or when an API is not responding as expected, etc. You would have heard as well of Oracle Hospitality Reports and Analytics. We're also making available APIs for RNA. So you can also consume them via all-HIP. Loyalty is another area where we're making APIs available. And then there's I've talked briefly about the adapters, the templates and accelerators that we're creating for enterprise integrations. In this case, it's specifically using Oracle Integration Cloud. We're building a next-gen Oracle Hospitality adapter. So if you already have OIC, or you're looking for a tool to easily connect your enterprise systems, whether it's an ERP talking to Opera Cloud or a CRM talking to Opera Cloud, you can use this adapter along with OIC to very easily do it. We're also making accelerators. We're going to be making accelerators available, so you have pre-built end-to-end integration templates to do exactly that. Then we also have plans to create an OHIP bot. The idea is that because we have so many members now in the partner community, over 800 of them, and there's been so many questions and so many answers that we want to use that intelligence to create a bot, and the bot is just going to make use of everything that we've learned to more easily and seamlessly keep helping our community. Let me drill down in some of these details. I've already walked through GitHub, so I'm not going to explain this in more details, but the bottom line is that the fact that our API specs are completely open source, it means that you can openly reference them, reuse them, or take inspiration from them without any restriction whatsoever. Okay, so I just wanted to re-emphasize on that. But what it also means is that anyone can fork our repository and even contribute to the development of these REST APIs. So you can become a contributor and help us as well improve the APIs as we go along. Analytics is super important. I've talked about the application key and how we use the application key in OHIP to identify you as a calling application. And the idea is that using the application key, you're able as well to exploit the rich analytics in the developer portal. You are able to search and understand how your APIs are being used and when and by whom. As you can see on display, you can filter based on a specific environment, whether it's production or non-production. You can filter out which applications are making calls, let's say at a specific time of day, or from a time range, like tell me how many calls are being made in the last 7 days against this specific property by this specific app. All in all, it's super useful information. And by the way, it's information that we're already capturing OHIP today, but we're making it available to you through the analytics page. So you can visualize or even download this data and make use of it, because it's valuable information at the end of the day. And by you having access to it, it can help improve your decisions and also get insight as to how the APIs are being used, which in turn tells you about how guests are interacting with your different channel application. The search, we are enhancing the search capability that I demonstrated in the developer portal. And that's because although it's great that we have over 3,000 REST APIs, but that means that we have a unique challenge, and that is that to find the right API capability for the right use case can be a little bit tricky. Not just that, we also have Postman workflows, as I showed. We have the 0 and V1 APIs. We have different categories of APIs. So we are enhancing the developer portal, and this is happening before the end of the year. And the idea is that you're able to drill down and search based on different criteria. Like you may only want to search property APIs or distribution APIs, or maybe you want to find a specific workflow for, checking a guest or to offer an upgrade. We have so many already documented workflows in Postman, and the intention of the aim, and as I said before, we're already building this, is to make all of this searchable directly in the developer portal. And then there's the state-of-the-art two-way API for business event push. In other words, a streaming API. In the cloud, it's all about streaming. You want to be able to get notified about any business event that happens exactly when it happens. You want real-time notifications. And that's what we're making available with the brand new and state-of-the-art streaming API. With this brand new capability, that's also becoming available this year, you're going to be able to subscribe to any available Opera business event, like, for example, when a reservation is created, or when a reservation is updated, or when a guest checks in or adds something to the folio. All of these are business events supported in Opera Cloud today, and you're going to be able, from the developer portal, to subscribe to any event or to any of these events against any Opera Cloud property, and then get a push whenever the event occurs in real time. The way it works is simple. We'll make available, first of all, obviously, you go to the developer portal, and as I said earlier, you register to access the specific business event that you want to be notified on. We'll make available an SDK and documentation to guide you on how to implement this specific capability. The way the client works is that it connects using just a HTTP connection and then upgrades to a technology that's known as WebSocket. Just so you know a little bit about WebSocket, for example, companies like Slack use WebSocket for all the messaging. It's super popular. And it's super lightweight. So that is that this technology will enable us to stream events super fast as they happen in near real time. And then the commercial model is exactly the same as the REST APIs. It's included, this capability is included for Opera Cloud Foundation customers as part of your Opera Cloud SKU purchase. And for partners, we just charge per event sent. Another great feature that we made available recently, and that I truly feel that it adds a lot of value to customers, especially early days when you're getting started with OHIP and you're trying to navigate through all of the capabilities and APIs and steps to implement your integrations. This new offering can really help you. It's the OHIP Premium Remote Assistance. It was created by professional services in partnership with ourselves, our product management. And the whole concept, the whole objective is to enable the customer to purchase hours. Like you can go to shop.oracle.com to the URL on display. And you can just purchase 2 hours or 4 hours or 8 hours or 16 hours, whatever you think you need to get started. And then our team will remotely assist you in getting started with the OHIP journey. And from experience, this can truly accelerate your OHIP journey. And I highly recommend it, especially early days. I think it will help you a lot. And last but not least, I just want to close by saying that this was a fantastic opportunity to talk to you today. And there are three key takeaways that I want you to remember. The first one is about innovation. The fact that you're getting access to unrestricted number of API capabilities just lets you innovate without any limitation. Secondly, is the opportunity to adapt quickly to new normals, such as the ones that a post-COVID era will demand. And OHIP will give you the ability to just deliver outstanding guest experiences with all of the REST APIs and all of the recipes and all of the examples that we're making available to you to do just that. And last but not least, ultimately, we want you to grow, to increase the number of bookings that are made through your different channels. And we can do this by enabling your vendors and yourself to very quickly start integrating against your properties using OHIP and Opera Cloud. It was a pleasure. Please don't forget to follow us on social media. Until later. Bye-bye.